All right, guys, welcome to Boys Bear Talk.
We're just two husbands having some real talk, no filters, no shirts, no
No
rules.
rules.
All right, so let's continue this conversation and the subject topic idea of masculine gaze, masculine fags. What does it mean? Who we are? How do we come off?
All
And
right.
such. So we all grew up being told to man up, but no one ever explained what that actually means. What does man up mean? So when was the first time you felt pressure to act masculine?
I mean, obviously in high school, but I didn't do it. I think like I said in the last episode, like I became more masculine nowadays with you when I started to go out to the gay clubs, to the gay scene, but in high school, yeah, I was bullied and I was like, oh, you're such a faggot, or like you're so like you like look at you, look like a girl, and like that's where I was pushed to be masculine, but I never went there,
Yeah. But it made you just conscious of it.
Yeah, just because they told me, I didn't care.
Yeah.
I'm masculine and I'm that because I want to be, not because they told me in high school.
Okay. So am I supposed to answer this question too?
Yeah, why not? I want to know.
So this goes back to maybe like when I was 5 years old. And I love you, Dad. It's not about you. It's more about me.
We love you, John.
Basically, like, I was obsessed with fucking fairy tales, like all the Disney movies, like the fairy tales. Nowadays I don't give a fuck. I've never been to Disney World. Like, that, I don't care. But like, I just love the stories, the princess, the dress. I just like those images, like, I enjoyed. So this is back in the Disney when there was like VHS, and you could record like stuff on the TV onto a tape.
I don't
And
know these days.
yeah, so I would be upset. I would
Oh,
look
man,
at the
so
TV
old.
guide, and I would know when there would be like these fairy tales that would be on TV, whether it was like a PBS
All right.
like thing, or like whatever. It could be from any channel. So I would be obsessed with like taping these fairy tales and then watching them back. And then obviously, like, my grandparents and stuff would get me like Disney movies. But I was just so into these fairy tales. I would go to the library and rent videos of like Rumpelstiltskin, Rapunzel, like Little Mermaid, whatever.
So you wanted to be a princess?
I don't know if I wanted to be a princess, but like, yeah, maybe a little bit.
Okay, I wanted to be. I was wearing dresses for poor and for Halloween.
I mean, for
Israeli
God's
Halloween.
sakes,
I was a princess all the time.
One year I got like little ruby red slippers from like Dorothy, and like was like trotting around the house in like some slippers. But anyways, the first time that like I think I was bribed. So my dad was like, if you stop being so obsessive with these fairy tales, like if you stop going into the library with your mom all the time and just like getting all these videos and just like having this obsession, then I'll buy you this, like, it was this big like grand Playmobil, like, the brand Playmobil. It's not Lego, but like it was like a kid toy, and it was like a pirate ship, and it was like really expensive and big, and I had to be like put together, and I had all these like things with it. And so he basically was like, if you stop basically doing like this like fairy tale shit, I will get you this boy thing that's big and elaborate. And so obviously he didn't use the word masculine, but like looking back on it, I feel like that was kind of the first time I remember being told to like pivot and like don't.
Be more like a boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so we're gonna explore a little bit about what masculinity really is. So the idea is that masculinity is not a look. I mean, it is like the outward portrayal of your masculinity is a look, but it really starts on the inside and how
Okay.
that shows up. So I feel like some of the components of what on the inside makes us masculine is comprised of the following: a groundedness, meaning like I have a foundation, like, I have stability. I have some type of something that keeps me tethered to life, reality, what's going on. Agency, which is like the concept of I choose to do this and then I act to do this. So it's like your will, the free will, the agency to operate and be yourself. I think self-trust is also masculine, you know, like because there's so many things going on around you, people, places, things, doing things, what have you, but like when you actually trust your instincts and you go with that, you know, I think that can be like a component of masculinity. And then I also think emotional containment. And I don't mean not having emotions, but I mean
Know
more
how to control
so,
it.
yes, knowing when, where, time and place, when it's appropriate, when you need to reel it in, you know what I mean? Act the part even though you're fucking like a mess inside, you know what I mean? But just keeping your composure. So yeah, I think those are some of the things that kind of make up what it means to be masculine. But I think masculinity is about control.
Okay.
You know, being able to control yourself.
Okay.
So, question: do you feel more masculine when you're calm or when you're in control?
It's a good question, but I think it's like more when I'm calm, because when I'm in control, like control is I'm always in control. I'm a control freak, but I feel like when I'm calm and when you and me go there and we relax and like that's where I can be like the most like masculine boy self because I have
There's no stage,
not the
there's no
drama, not the thing,
performance.
not the things I need to achieve right now. Nothing I need to, because when I need to do stuff, I'm like this, and then like there's drama, and then it's like,
Blah,
and I can
whirlwind.
be like the most.
Yeah, it makes sense. Okay. Um, and so let's talk about like relational masculinity, how it shows up with others. So you have ideas or concepts like leadership, you know, someone who's able to take control and say, I'm going to lead the pack. Protection, you know, making sure everyone's safe, making sure you're safe from outside variables. Consistency, you know, where you're predictable, you can be the same person or the same thing showing up no matter what's going on. And boundaries, which we don't have many of here.
No,
Boundaries are hard,
I
but
don't do boundaries.
yeah, I think that boundaries are a huge part of masculinity because it basically is something where you say like, okay, I accept this or I don't, and that's that. This is my line. Cross
Yeah.
it, and then this will happen. Don't cross it, and this, you know what I mean. So like, I think a boundary is definitely part of being masculine because it's like,
I think for me it's more like what you said. Take care of people. Say it on the second thing.
protection.
Protection. I think like protecting people, and I feel like that's because when I met you, I was what? I was like 24, and I was like, what can I do for you? I was like a little boy in New York City, but like when I saw you, you got out of prison, and like you were all like you had your family, you have everything, but in the moment it wasn't, you weren't that close to everybody yet. Again, so I was like kind of protecting you, and I felt like this was like the most manly I felt. I mean, obviously throughout our year, I felt manly many more times, but I feel like protecting you and
You were protecting my emotions. You were protecting my
yeah, and like I
vulnerability.
felt like obviously like, I can protect you from the world, but in the moment when I was hugging you, I felt like or when I told you like, listen, we are gonna see the world together.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna like wait. We have
Yeah.
a whole world, so I felt like that. Yeah.
Protecting me from like bad feelings of life
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah. Okay. I love that. That's amazing. That's a great answer.
Why so hot?
Why are you so hot? What kind of underwear are you wearing today?
Oh, I'm underwear,
me.
by the way.
Do you want to like do a little
No,
like,
I
show?
don't.
No. Okay. Okay. How do you express masculinity in relationships without competing?
You want to answer this one?
I mean, I don't really like the question.
I think for us it works because we have this dynamic that like we never compete. Like we're both like very like, you know. There is no competition in our
But like,
relationship.
but I'm wondering, like, what about you in relation to like friends? Like, you know, how do you express your masculine self without being in direct competition with like your peers?
I think I'm just being myself.
Yeah, and
Because
not giving a
like
fuck.
a lot of people I know are not giving masculine vibes and they don't want to, which is fine. But like the people around me, I don't have a lot of people like, we have few friends that they're like masculine boys.
Yeah.
But the rest like they want to be other things. And I feel like I'm not competing with them because
Yeah.
I am myself. I feel like sometimes we are the most like masculine boys in the group. And
Yeah.
so I never feel like I need to compete. I'm just being myself.
Yeah, I think competing. I think when you compete with yourself, it's more masculine than when you compete with others. Because when you compete with others, it's showing some type of vulnerability. Like you need this, you need to be better so you can feel better. But like I feel good just being
Being
me,
myself, yeah.
not having to worry about what you're doing. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? I think that's more masculine.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about the emotional component of masculinity.
Mm-hmm.
Healthy is feeling without being ruled by emotion. So acknowledging feelings, but not allowing it to rule every action that you take. And responsibility over being defensive. Unhealthy emotional aspect of masculinity would be shut down. Like so I shut down when like emotions are too much, so I just shut down. You
Mm-hmm.
know, anger only emotions. You know, I feel like in today's world a lot of times anger is the most commonly expressed emotion because it's the easiest to fall into when like anger could really be more about frustration or a depression or you know not having what you want or need, but like it comes out as things, other emotions come out as anger when it's really sadness or something else.
Okay.
And then another unhealthy component of emotional masculinity would be avoidance through sex, work, or control. So like not dealing with something that is bothering you and then delving completely into your work and not just like you know not acknowledging, compartmentalizing everything. So delving into work, sex, drugs, control, whatever.
Okay.
All right, so questions revolving around this topic.
I feel like I'm in a class in the
Yeah,
university.
yeah, exactly.
All right.
Was emotional honesty ever modeled as masculine for you? Like being forthcoming about your emotions, like showing emotions. Was that when you were growing up? Was being honest with your emotions something that was modeled as being masculine?
No, I was always hiding my emotion until I
Okay.
met you. You were the one that told me you need to talk about how you feel, how you feel. And I was like, doesn't matter, like, because I was always hiding it because like I'm putting an image out there and that's it. My image is like everything's good.
Right.
But, and that's yeah, that's why I felt masculine doing that. But then when I learned to open up and you teach me that, like I feel like now it's more masculine to me to show how I feel.
Yeah,
It's
and
more real.
I think it falls back into the idea where like the masculine part of emotions is acknowledging the emotions, but then containing them and having control of them, not letting them control you.
Yeah.
When do you choose to speak and when do you stay quiet? It's a very general question.
Yeah. You want to respond?
I feel like I choose to speak when something, if we're not talking just about us and how we do things, but I'm talking about me in relation to the whole world, I only choose to speak when it's something that really moves me. You know what I mean? Like, 'cause I feel like there's no point in bringing up and having issue and taking up, a bunch of like, like, you can pick through everything in life and just waste so much fucking time. But like, really, like, there's only a few core things that really rock me where like I have to speak up. And, usually it's if someone's being like mistreated or there's something just blatantly unfair or just totally irrational, doesn't make sense. But
And what
yeah.
about in regard to us in our relationship?
Um, I feel like I choose to speak kind of the same, along the same lines. I mean, like, because in a relationship, I feel like you can nitpick over like so many stupid things that just like don't really matter, and they're just little tiny components of like something that maybe bothers you a little bit about someone, but doesn't really need to be spoken because like we're all human. We're all gonna be bothered by certain things that just are like, bitch, get over it.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to make a deal about everything. But I feel like I do choose to speak if it's something that I feel like has like broader consequences, or like if it's like something where like I just feel like wow, like we really need to talk about this thing because if we don't, like something's gonna blow up
All right.
or something's gonna like go wrong. But I mean, overall, I feel like
All right.
yeah. Okay, so physical and sexual masculinity. This is the most visible, the most obvious. Body confidence, sexual assertiveness, comfort with desire. What do you feel in gay culture kind of defines this? So let's see. I think in gay culture, mask for mask is like a concept that is like really prevalent. You know what I mean? Where there's so many different types of people under our umbrella, and we're friends with all different types of people. Like, I love everybody. Everyone's great. But I think when it comes to sexual compatibility or sexual desire, the mask for mask thing is real. You know what I mean? It's
that's where people are going to start hating on social
Yeah.
media, but it's fine because I always say the truth. So.
Listen, we work hard to embody what we find attractive in other people. So therefore, it's kind of like, this is the standard I'm setting. And I'm not saying that, like, I think anyone can be attractive. You know what I mean? Like, this table could be attractive in the right light. Like, baby, come on, like, let's go there.
But it's the thing, like, before I met you, all my boyfriends were like, skinny white boys, and like I never had like the mask to mask. It was never something, but like now I found like what I am into, and that's why I'm into. So yeah, and it's not negative. I think that people are so beautiful if they're not masculine. There's so many people that everybody's beautiful if they're comfortable, like confident and everything. But like what I want in my bed is this. You know?
Exactly. And it's not to say that I won't have anything else in my bed. Like, I might try another flavor or something one time. But like overall, like, if you're obsessed with a concept and like this is what you do, this is how you live your life, like you're gonna want to like find the same thing, anyways. So when does masculinity feel real in sex? When does it feel the most real in sex, masculinity?
I mean, in gay sex, I'll say when I feel like. So that's the thing. Like, obviously, a top will always be more masculine in the moment.
Yes.
But then I always tell you when I am topping you, you are the most masculine bottom I've ever seen in my life. So it's about like how you carry yourself in bed.
Yeah, how you take control.
How you take control.
How you...
the fact that like you're a bottom doesn't mean that you're gonna be feminine in the moment, or like if the top like the bottom can be like the most masculine thing, like how you are when
because it's about finding the enjoyment in the experience and then taking yours and getting yours
take control of it.
Taking control, masculine control. Okay, so
why is that hot?
Because I'm married to you. You made me hot. So masculinity has become something we prove with our bodies, obviously. Everyone compares, and it just shows up differently. And the almost there mentality kind of never ends. Like, when you look at yourself in the mirror, it's like, I'm just a little bit, I need to be a little bit bigger. I'm not quite, the body dysmorphia kicks in, and it's like, am I big enough? Am I not? So question, when did the mirror stop being neutral? Like, when did it start having like some type of feedback that was like...
I feel like the more you get your body in order, like obviously we do steroids, so like the more we do the steroids, the more we starting to look at ourselves and we're like, oh, we can do better. We go to parties, we see these guys, and we're like,
I want to look like him.
I want to look like him. But then our friends saying, well, you look like him, but we don't see it.
I still see the skinny twink from 2007 standing in the mirror.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so do you train for health or do you train for approval? Be real. Be honest.
I train for approval.
Approval first, then health.
Yes.
But my own approval,
Yeah.
everybody else's approval, then health. Health is like, at least there's health.
Yeah, exactly.
But also, too, I feel like the older you get, though, the more you realize that, especially me as I encroach upon 40, like, you start to feel different things. Your body feels different. It looks a little different. But, like, I am very, very, very fortunate that, like, my predisposition to not feeling good enough all the time and not feeling big enough actually helps me in the long run, because you need to build muscle mass and maintain muscle mass as you get older to maintain your health and to be as, ambidextrous and as, amazingly like flexible and, to keep just doing all the things you want to do. That you
good to have you, because I didn't think about these things before I met you. So
okay, so let's talk about social media, steroids, and AI, and how that has changed the game.
Okay.
So we're talking about the concept of a produced body for a photo or for content versus a lived-in body, one that gets you up in the morning, takes you to work, helps you make dinner, all the things, So filters, lighting, and enhancement are also another like add-on to this, obviously something you've taught me, lighting is everything.
Oh my God, light is everything.
And then how AI has also potentially, it basically removes biology from the conversation. You know what I mean? Because like AI is
Everything's
just
perfect.
Everything's perfect in terms of the eye of the creator. So what happens when the ideal isn't human anymore? Like where does that lead? Where does that leading us when like everyone's comparing themselves to a computer generated image rather than an actual person?
I think that like we are still in this right now because it's really the AI is new and like suddenly you have models that they're not real, but like we don't even know that they're not real.
Right. You don't
see
know
them on
if you're.
Instagram.
I
You're
know
like,
exactly.
how is your body like
How many
this?
times have we been like, is this person real or not? What do you think?
Yeah, and like they're so real, but like
But they're
the
not.
bodies are
Yeah.
so crazy, and like we work out like crazy. We do steroids. We do we eat well, and we can't look like this. So like why?
Yeah.
So like yeah, it is like something we're going through right now. Our mind fuck. for
Exactly.
us.
And I don't think it. I think it's one of those things where it can help you to a certain extent, meaning like it raises the bar to what you try hard to achieve, but then the bar you can never reach the
Yeah.
bar. It just keeps getting higher and higher.
Yeah, no,
So
for
it's
sure.
like-
I think it's good. It's like motivation,
but
it's
you just have
also
to, it's a concept you have to like always keep in the front of your mind. Like this is not real.
Yeah.
This is not something that
tell
I can
yourself you're doing amazing,
Yeah,
sweetie.
exactly, and move
Because
on
like you
with it.
can. Yeah.
Okay, so muscle culture and criticism, muscle for muscle, like we were saying, like it's a shared lifestyle. It's effort, it's discipline, it's actually characteristics of a human being that I want to be surrounded by. You are the company you keep.
Yeah.
So like it's not just that I want to have hot friends. I also actually, I love a good fat friend. They're the funnest, most like real chill. I love a good like girlfriend who's a little chubby or who likes to just like while out and be a little crazy, doesn't give a fuck. They're the best like wingmans. That's not an issue. But like when you get into the gay subculture and you start like grouping people off, the bears with the bears, the muscles with the muscles, the twinks with the twinks, then it gets to be more of a us versus them situation, and then people start to feel excluded or not included in the whole pond. But I really I don't feel like I exclude anyone friendship wise.
I don't think we do. That's the
No.
thing. Like, first of all, we don't see ourselves as like this like crazy muscle, but
No.
also like we don't exclude. Like we have friends like on every shape and every form, and yeah, it's just like sometimes, obviously, after a party, the muscle boys will go with the muscle boys.
Yeah, so you're going home to fuck.
And
but,
then like they don't want somebody it's not like that to come along.
Yeah.
And we try to like just like maneuver everybody and like include, but like this is life, so it's not like
Right.
I don't think that it's like people say it's so bad, and it's like nobody shame nobody. It's just like when you go home, you do your thing with like who you want to do
who
it
you want to
with,
do it with.
and
It's
like
honestly none of your business.
and,
Who
yeah.
I do what I do with.
and like at the parties, I think us and we have a lot of muscle boys that coming with us to the parties. Like everybody is always welcoming. How I see it, at least like here in LA. I mean, people think that LA boys are like so like fake and like they're all about how they look, but at the same time, we love people,
Yeah.
So it depends on what group of people you're with.
Yeah, no, I agree totally for sure. Because there's the douches and the non-douches always, no matter like what type of person you're talking about. So, do you think valuing a certain body type is shallow or just honest?
I think it's honest, and like yeah, it may be shallow, and I am a shallow person sometimes.
Same.
But I think it's honest.
I think
It's how
honest
you
too.
feel.
Yeah,
You know.
it goes back to what I was saying before with like it's the characteristics of someone who. How do you get this body? You show up, you discipline, you plan
Yeah.
it, you think about it, you act, you practice. So yeah, I really feel like mass for mass, muscle for muscle. Like it's not the end of the world, but like we're all queer.
We all queer.
We're all queer and we're all here.
We're so queer.
So anyways, guys, let's just say that like that's pretty much what we got for this episode.
Yeah, episode 2 is in the books.
Yeah.
More talks, more subject, more things are
More
coming.
bullshit coming your way.
Yeah, so
Stay
stay
tuned.
with us, and thanks for listening.